startups, entrepreneurship, starting your own new business. Join me every week as we dive into stories, topics, and advices from the top founders, innovators,
The crazy ones, the misfits, the troublemakers.
every Saturday at 4 p.m. I'll see you there. तो हबीब भाई, you've lived in Karachi all your life. आपने कचरा भी देखा है, आपने सब कुछ देखा है, तो थोड़ा बहुत तो समझ आता है कि आपने क्यों इतना जोश हो गया शुरू करने में.
So इस इंडस्ट्री में काम करते हुए we've always felt that plastic has a lot of bad publicity. Plastic in itself is not that bad. उस हवाले से एक चीज़ ना जहन में तंग कर रही थी, कीड़ा था कि कोई सोल्यूशन लेके आना है जिससे प्रॉब्लम्स रिजॉल्व हो.
Could you tell me a bit about what this is, and then what are you doing related to this?
So this is a decorative sheet made out of recycled polypropylene, PP का बना हुआ है. This has a marble effect, if you can see. We are targeting this product for indoor use, for office desks.
I remember the first time I actually got exposed to this. We wanted to solve the whole plastic recycling problem with ourselves.
So it's also about the consumer awareness as well. And honestly, you don't expect the end user to be that aware. यहाँ पे obviously awareness ही नहीं है. So first thing would be awareness. Then it comes to premium. But mainly it's up. If you see in Europe, mostly packaging has this being mentioned that it's recyclable or is being made out of recyclable materials.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Saad Allahwala and we're back with another amazing podcast with a very good friend of mine, a very learned person who I'm always inspired by all the things he's doing, and his new initiative is very deep, like very, very close to my heart actually. It's related to plastic recycling. I've made tremendous amount of videos on it. It's even on my LinkedIn bio. So I mean, this is something that I've wanted to do for so long. We have Habib Elahi with us. Habib bhai is the founder at The Green Arc, but he has an amazing story of how he started and what he's been doing all his life that made him start this.
Assalamu alaikum, Saad. Thank you for having me over. It's wonderful to be a part of this podcast. Thank you for the introduction.
Thank you for coming.
No, it's my pleasure.
तो हबीब भाई, you've lived in Karachi all your life. आपने कचरा भी देखा है, आपने सब कुछ देखा है, तो थोड़ा बहुत तो समझ आता है कि आपने क्यों इतना जोश हो गया शुरू करने में. But I want to know a bit more about you first. Where you're from, what you did, where you studied, and then what brought you to do this.
So I'm based in Karachi, born in Karachi, studied abroad in the UK, University of Manchester. So I completed my operations and management. So I started my career in 2013 into a packaging business as well. So we were dealing in flexible packaging for FMCGs. So मेरा already packaging and plastics का ही background था as a family business, and very closely associated with leading food manufacturing and other companies. So उनका जो whole process था, the challenges they face, and in the last few years those challenges were in a different direction with respect to sustainability and the awareness globally. जो the consumers are more aware, the corporates are more aware. There's a lot of legislation in the developed world. So the driving factors with all those challenges have changed. So I have 5 years experience in flexible packaging of FMCG products, and then I switched to another industry which actually manufactures plastic films.
What are plastic films?
So plastic film is the wrapper you normally see, which is printed or colored. Normally it's produced in transparent or white. And then the first company which I worked for was converting these films and printing on it and then making it ready for primary and secondary food packaging. So it was a backward integration for my exposure. So that the second experience, which was a listed company, MacFact Films, and also the operations director there. So if that is the production house for the film, and then it's been converted by multiple conversion companies. There too, normally we make only recyclable films in our facility, but there's a lot of other films that are being manufactured. If they're combined together, it makes the packaging non-recyclable. So it's a different polymer. Let's say if there's normally we produce PP, polypropylene, and if it's laminated with if it's laminated with PET, so it makes it difficult to recycle. And that too very recently it's been developed in the sense that recycling uski ho rahi hai, but last decade or so it was very difficult, so it was considered as non-recyclable, and it's a new technology, and ab jaake usme thodi और major development ho rahi hai, but still not very widely done. Right. So we still consider it as a non-recyclable product. And
what's an example of such a product?
So let's say a biscuit wrapper would normally in our markets would have PET and PP laminate. So the printed material is PET, and then the inside material, which is in direct food contact, is polypropylene.
And if I ask why it's not recyclable, is it because of the melting points are different?
Yeah, so it's a completely different polymer. Uski chemistry jo aapas mein match nahi karti when it comes to recycling. So it doesn't, normally if you recycle PP, it can then be used in injection molding, or again to use in films as well. So you can make the plastic thin film. But when it gets contaminated or mixed in that sense with PET, it's difficult to mold, or uski properties change ho jati hain. So it doesn't have the inherent single polymer property. So now globally a lot of companies are trying to work on monopolymers. So the A layer and the B layer of the packaging is of the same family. Okay. Then it makes it recyclable. So it's PE or PP, or even now a lot of development on the PET market for the secondary layers. So in future you will see PET plus PET packaging only as well. Primarily now PET is used in food packaging as a top layer, not the one which is inside in contact with the product, because of its inherent properties of not being sealable. Mm-hmm. So PP and PE has the sealability, so it's mostly used inside, even if you're using a PET film on top. Gee. So, but every day there's new developments, there's a lot of effort and energy to make more packaging which is completely recyclable.
Simplifying a bit of how the PET, PP and all of these polymers are, I remember the first time I actually got exposed to this, it was, so my friend Talha, I was at his, we'd started this little venture of ours, and then we raised a little money and we wanted to solve the whole plastic recycling problem with ourselves. So because Talha's father is also in the same industry of plastics, we went to his factory and we were like, आपका जो भी कचरा प्लास्टिक है प्लीज़ हमें दे दें. He's like, अच्छा कौन सा प्लास्टिक चाहिए तुम्हें? PET चाहिए, PE चाहिए, LDPE चाहिए, HDPE चाहिए, PP चाहिए. मैंने कहा ये क्या होता है, मुझे प्लास्टिक पता है, उसको मैं पिघलाऊंगा और मैं उसका काम कर लूँगा, सब हो जाएगा. He's like, बेटा जाओ पहले रिसर्च करके आओ, प्लास्टिक 101 की किताबें पढ़ो, फिर मेरे पास आना. तो the whole journey of actually learning about this took me 6 months. क्योंकि कुछ पता ही नहीं कि क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता, कि कौन से मेल्टिंग पॉइंट पे क्या बर्न होता है, क्योंकि द होल पेट्रोलियम इंडस्ट्री क्योंकि उसी से लिंक्ड है, ये उसको इतना ज़्यादा मेरे ख्याल से मुश्किल कर दिया है.
So it's also about the consumer awareness as well, and honestly you don't expect the end user to be that aware, but you should expect them to be aware कि यार ये recyclable है या नहीं है.
Exactly.
So in the details of it, obviously जिसकी field नहीं है, they won't really have an idea about it. But mainly it's up. If you see in Europe, mostly packaging has this being mentioned कि it's recyclable or is being made out of recyclable materials. So the mentioning of recyclable identifies कि यार ये recycle हो सकती है. And that changes the whole consumer behavior. If he is picking up a product on the shelf, दो बराबर में alternate options हैं, and if he is that aware and he or she is conscious about the environment, then let's say the price being similar and the product being similar in application, they'll normally choose for a more sustainable option. In our side of the world, there are awareness options. पहली सबसे main चीज़ है awareness, and then having those options as well.
Yes, because options is a very big debate now, because हम कमाते इतना नहीं है कि हम ज़रा थोड़े क्योंकि recycled products premium के तौर पे अब brand किए जाते हैं.
So in the Western world, it is sold as a premium because उनकी awareness इतनी strong होगी कि automatically they would pay more for this recycling or sustainability aspect. यहाँ पे obviously awareness ही नहीं है. So first thing would be awareness. Then it comes to premium. Premium is also the fact that cost is high due to demand and supply. So there's more demand in the Western world for the recycled materials. So automatically the supply is limited, the cost is high, so they also charge extra for the recyclable materials.
True. So you've been in the packaging industry, you've been aware of plastics all your life. What triggered you to start this? If you notice, our set is a little different today. This morning we got a CNC made podcast mic. Now today, this afternoon, we've gotten a plastic decoration piece. So could you tell me a bit about what this is, and then what are you doing related to this?
So this is a decorative sheet made out of recycled polypropylene. PP का बना हुआ है, white polypropylene इसमें granules use हुए हुए. This is for decorative purpose. We are converting it into coffee table tops. This is just a sample, but we can make in different thicknesses. This is made out of recycled polypropylene as well. This has a marble effect, if you can see, and it has a tray to take the drain of the pot as well.
Oh, it has a hole in it. Yes. Very good.
So this has a drain, so you can, and we are targeting this product for indoor use for office desks, and thoda sa isme plant selection is such that you don't really need to care in that much depth. So once a week you can water it, and
this is a snake plant, right?
It is from the same family.
Okay.
Normally you would see snake plant is
a bit
thoda sa different. It looks a lot similar, but it's the same family, and it's good for like
indoor चल जाएगा ये.
Indoor के लिए अच्छा.
अब ये यहीं रहेगा.
So don't overwater it. Once a week is good.
No, I'm very into plants, so I know how to.
It's good. So
okay, so the name, I want to know a bit about the name, the green arc. ये कहाँ से आया? Arc, Noah's Ark वाला है, ये क्या है?
So we'll start from a bit of background how it started.
Yes, क्योंकि कौन सा कीड़ा आपको काटा था कि आपने ये शुरू कर दिया भाई?
So इस इंडस्ट्री में काम करते हुए we've always felt that plastics has a lot of bad publicity. Globally also, and even in our markets as well. So we always thought that plastic in itself is not that bad. It's been marketed that way, and the consumer behavior of how we deal with the used products is the major factor of how it makes an environmentally negative impact. So solutions toward make things more recyclable. So उस हवाले से एक चीज़ ना जहन में तंग कर रही थी, कीड़ा था कि कोई सोल्यूशन लेके आना है जिससे प्रॉब्लम्स रिजॉल्व हो with respect to sustainability. So we came up with an idea. Initially it was only for post industrial waste.
हाँ, क्योंकि पिछली बार मुझे याद है आपने वही बताया था मुझे, पोस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट को हम रिसाइकिल करेंगे.
So that's the first phase, post industrial waste. A lot of factories, actually जो problem हमने identify की was also counterfeiting. A lot of factories which used a lot of factories that use packaging material, उनका किसी भी वजह से packaging material not useful रहता है. अगर कोई packaging में खराबी हो जाए या there's a change in ingredient, grammage change हो गई या size change हो गया, so all of that material which has been produced using so much plastic isn't out of being a useful packaging material becomes zero value immediately. So a lot of corporates have that challenge कि अब हम उसका क्या करें. So then it comes to a challenge कि यार इसका कोई misuse ना कर ले, हम इसको dispose of किस तरह से करें. So some companies resolve to burning it. Some sell it in the market and then later find out कि यार इसमें तो हमारा counterfeit product pack हो गया, and then you get bad publicity and consumer challenges. So we sort of care, let's come up with a solution where we can take all those waste from these factories and ensure that कि हम इसको एक sustainable way में इसको convert करेंगे, we'll recycle it and we'll make a useful product out of it. So that's the whole idea that came into being, and then a lot of things associated within the field came into place. So formally we started last year in 2021, and then structuring and everything and getting the machineries, and now Alhamdulillah within this calendar year we are operational, and in the coming year we'll be doing a lot of more products that we're not doing right now, but we've done a lot of prototypes, so inshallah commercially we'll be doing those. So when we collect the plastic waste from different factories,
right now this is collected from other factories or your own?
Yeah, this is from other factories.
Okay, awesome.
So we get recyclable waste and non-recyclable. So जो packaging material in its own polymers में होती है and contaminated नहीं होती दूसरों से, so we can recycle it. But any other material which is cross contamination in terms of polymers, यानी कि एक रैपर है जिसमें सिर्फ PP लगा हुआ है, we can recycle it easily. But अगर उसमें PET PP लगा हुआ है, then it's non-recyclable for us. तो हमने सोचा कि यार हम उसका क्या करेंगे. So then we came up with usage of these MLPs, multi-layered plastic, and then we started thinking यार इसको हम किसी ऐसे यूजफुल चीज़ में करें जिसकी हमारे मुल्क में भी ज़रूरत हो और सस्टेनेबिलिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लॉन्ग टर्म उसका इम्पैक्ट हो. सो वी डेवलप प्लास्टिक bricks and pavers and tiles, which I can show you. Yes, you can pick it up. So this is a floor tile for outdoor use, and this is a product. This is a paver. This can be used for outdoor flooring for garages and.
अगली बार अपना गाड़ी का वो बनाना हो ना, क्या कहते हैं, ड्राइववे, तो इससे बनाना है.
This is the ideal
क्योंकि
product.
it's not gonna, nothing's gonna happen to it.
So this product uses 25 tons of waste in 10,000 square feet.
Wow. So this is half a square foot.
No,
right?
this is 4.5 pieces make 1 square foot.
Okay. So this is 1/4.
This is
इसमें कितना टन है?
less than 1/4. This is a 1.6 kg brick.
Okay.
And this paver has,
You said 40% sand.
600 grams of plastic, and normally
The other
it's
material.
1.5 kg, so 900 grams is sand and 600 grams is plastic.
900 and 600.
So it's 40-60.
Okay.
इसकी consumption अच्छी है with respect to waste plastic, and 10,000 square foot has 25 tons of MLPs used in it. The thinner version obviously uses less, but similarly the output is much more.
This is MLP. So all the Liari Nadi wala trash or.
So even in that waste, there's a lot of waste जो हम normally जो shopping bags वगैरह की देखते हैं, mostly PE or HDPE, that is directly recyclable. But normally the food wrappers we see has a lot of cross contamination. So वो is directly can be used in it. अभी currently we're doing with post industrial because we get a lot of post industrial waste.
एक जगह से आपको बहुत सारा मिल जाएगा ना.
हाँ, अभी तो हमें मिल रहा है, but as soon as we increase our capacity, we'll go to post consumer as well. Right now, the post industrial waste is being used to make fire bricks. जलाने के लिए वो bricks बना रहे हैं, and
प्लास्टिक की.
So they're making basically plastic coal कहते हैं उसे लोकल ज़बान में.
It's horrible.
और उसको burn करते हैं, सर्दियों के टाइम पे बहुत ज़्यादा consumption बढ़ जाती है, and उससे इतने fumes जनरेट होते हैं. सो हम उसको भी काउंटर करें कि इट्स नॉट जस्ट दैट
उनसे बोले हमारे बायोमास पैलेट्स ले.
So this is a developing market for us as well, and we are also learning. It's an initial stage for us. So inshallah, very soon you'll see a lot more in terms of what we are using to make these products as well.
Awesome. So I want to dive a little into numbers and then also your findings, because so he mentioned that Habib bhai came to the podcast a bit later, but it would have been published sooner, but he was traveling. I want to know a little more about your findings, because you've been to conferences that are related to sustainability and you must have seen more things happening. What do you see next that's supposed to happen in this market? Because I'm sure there must be some representation from developing markets as well.
I recently attended a conference in Prague, and I was the only one from than developing countries.
Really?
Yes.
तो इंडिया से कोई नहीं था?
India, there were Indians, but they were representing European companies.
Ayyo.
So you know how they are globally present.
Yeah.
So there was Indian people, but they were representing European companies. So हमारे यहाँ जो प्लास्टिक के challenges हैं is completely different from Europe.
Yeah, true.
First and foremost, they pay even on industrial level to collect waste. Here, recycling companies like us, we pay the companies to collect and then recycle and then make sale out of those recycled granules. So that is the major difference in economics of it. And as a matter of fact, in Pakistan, the number of recycling companies, not companies but setups, are unbelievable. Itna kaam ho raha hai, but
Quality
unorganized.
control is bad.
Unorganized, not as per standards. So we are losing a lot of value in the quality as well. So एक चीज से जो बहुत अच्छी चीज बन सकती है and you can actually add value back in this circular economy, वो उसको degrade कर रहा है because the standards are low. So the government regulations regarding the recycling industries, obviously SOPs was such a developed नहीं है. So there's no barrier to entry. There's a lot of challenges in terms of cost of waste. It's very high compared to any other part of the world. Even in Middle East, they pay you to collect waste.
Yes.
So इधर का थोड़ा सा dynamics different है. But having said that, there's a lot of opportunity as well, specifically in products like which are non being recycled right now. And post-consumer waste में there's a lot of opportunity. Right now you'd see आपके कचरा कुंडी में से bottle सबसे पहले उठती है.
Yes.
Why is that so?
पेट अच्छा बिकता है.
Because organized industries लगी polyester की bottle to bottle, they are paying a lot of amount to purchase it. So वो जो आपका लड़का जो sort कर रहा होता है उसको अच्छा rate मिलता है. And then पाकिस्तान से export काफ़ी हो रहा है recyclable PET.
Really?
Yes.
Export industry बढ़ रही है हमारी.
So we actually as a nation, अगर आप exporters list में देखो तो top 10 companies में से polyester exporting company होती है.
Oh my god. But aren't we actually importing that plastic, using it and then exporting it?
No, officially it's you can only re-export जो EPCs में setups लगे हुए हैं, आप import करके re-export कर सकते हो, but आप import करके local market में नहीं दे सकते.
हम लोग जो वर्जिन प्लास्टिक है वो तो इम्पोर्ट ही होता है ना, वो तो यहाँ नहीं बनता.
Yes.
तो उस तरह बोल रहा हूँ कि जी वो हम आती है, बॉटल इस्तेमाल होती है, उससे बॉटल पहले बनती है, वो इस्तेमाल होती है, and then we're crushing it and then devaluing it and then selling that.
So why do you think they're exporting? They're getting good money out of it. Internationally, in Europe specifically, the difference between virgin and recycled rPET is more expensive than virgin. Because वहाँ पे regulation है 30% minimum they have to use in plastic bottles.
But what about their own plastic bottles? They're recycling already. But उनकी recycling cost भी तो ज़्यादा है हमारे से.
But there's a shortage. The demand for recyclable PET has been created by legislation. So आप जितनी भी produce कर लो recycled bottles, there's still more demand than what you can recycle it. And पाकिस्तान से अच्छा खासा export हो रहा है recycled PET.
So coming back to my question, how big is the market in Pakistan? Because are you aiming only to sell in Pakistan or export?
So we definitely aim for export as well. अभी हमारी जो setup है is being under certifications for export requirements. What we intend to do is locally भी supply कर रहे हैं existing markets को. We are giving for PP woven bags. We are giving for injection molding. So people are making different stuff. Household items बना रहे हैं, dustbins बना रहे हैं, hangers बना रहे हैं. And then obviously you can see we can make like things like pots and stuff like that out of it as well. So anything.
Pot?
Yeah. We call it hexapod. So it's being used for injection molding and it's being used for PP tape film, which is basically used as a woven bag. And export maybe there's a lot of requirement. But right now the markets locally is such that we prefer to sell locally first. इस वक्त import की जो constraint है, there's huge demand and virgin material import
if
नहीं
you
हो
give
पा रहा.
if you give a rough number of how big the market really is for, let's say, decoration cups and design walls, pavers,
So
how
Saad,
big of a market do you see TGA going into?
So Saad, the thing is, we're not directly making a lot of end products. We made these pots as a promo, and so people can relate to that. Recycling is not just हमारे पाकिस्तान में specifically जो mindset है ना कि recycled product means inferior. उस चीज़ को counter करके we made premium recycled products. So the scope with what you can make out of these are huge. So the market needs to be developed, and potential मैं तो कहता हूँ पाकिस्तान के अलावा export even of these products is huge. So it's an untapped market in that matter के a lot can be done, and it is an import substitute for a lot of items as well. So now we are working on sheets which can be used as furniture tops for school desks and stuff like that. अब आप देखो उसमें वो किस चीज़ को replace कर रहा है, replacing wood. A lot of laminated wood is also being imported. A lot is being made local as well. But at the end of the day, you're replacing cutting of trees.
Very right. So Habib bhai, I'm still asking for numbers. So like I need some numbers ke bhai, because I don't think you would even discourage someone else entering this market.
Definitely
because it's
not.
so huge and it's
But
only going to help your business.
The reason I'm not sharing any specific numbers is because we don't have that data in our market.
भाई अभी 10 करोड़ का आराम से कमा सकते हो, 100 करोड़ कमा लोगे, वैसे करो, शुरू करो
यार. आपके पास and there's a lot of
अंदाजे वाले
examples.
असली नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं, but the thing is मैं अंदाजा भी किस चीज़ पे दूँ,
Okay.
मतलब it will be baseless. But if you let's redo this question in terms कि यार अगर आप एक injection molding setup लगाते हैं and you use recycled materials, तो setup कितने कि क्या कॉस्ट आएगी, इंजेक्शन मोल्डिंग मशीन कितने से स्टार्ट होती है, अगर ऐसा कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं तो उसकी क्या कॉस्ट आती है. सो दैट आई कैन गिव यू मोर एक्यूरेट.
if I ask that, what would be your answer? कि if I say कि जी प्रीमियम डेकोरेशन प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए जो क्योंकि मोल्ड मशीन तो एक ही है, वो तो मोल्ड्स हैं जो which are different. तो इंजेक्शन मोल्डिंग मशीन का एक बेसिक सेटअप which a person can start, and even if the output capacity is like 10 tons a month इतना और कम, तो वो कितने का होता है?
यस, सो स्टार्टिंग ऑफ इंजेक्शन मोल्डिंग में सारी चीज़ ये है कि द पीस वेट क्या आ रहा है. सो दिस इज अ less than 100 gram piece. सो द मशीन वुड कॉस्ट मच लेस. यू कैन स्टार्ट ऑफ विद अ यूज मशीन. आपको 7-8 लाख रुपए की, मिलियन तक की मशीन मिल जाती है. एंड देन द दिस मोल्ड कॉस्ट अराउंड 200-250,000 रुपीज़. सो स्टार्टिंग ऑफ आप 1.5-2 million रुपीज़ में यू कैन स्टार्ट ऑफ अ बिजनेस एंड make anything out of it. आपने 3-4 molds बना लिए.
I mean, I was just thinking why should it just be a pot? It can be
this is a multi-purpose thing. It can be a
container.
It can be used as a container. You can use as a pencil holder. So we make the whole afterwards. So when we will be selling it on our online e-commerce, you can use it without the whole.
So how can I buy the product?
So you can buy the pod on thegreenarc.org. It has a shop link there. Awesome. And you can order.
मैं तो जाके 10 बंदा खरीद रहा हूँ, उन्होंने कहा ये 500 रुपये का मिल रहा है with the plant.
So it's an introductory offer.
It's an introductory offer. तो पहले 100 को सिर्फ 500 रुपये में पौधे के साथ. स्नेक प्लांट नहीं है.
Same family. But
it's a fantastic product, and it's so good to see finally someone who's actually advertising. So if I go on Instagram, I always get sponsored ads by you, and that's amazing. Or we need more and more people coming into the market. There's already so much work, as he said, being done in the recycling market. मतलब पंजाब जाओ तो वहाँ तो और भी ज़्यादा होता है.
पंजाब इज़ हब ऑफ रिसाइकलिंग. गुजरावाला में जितना काम हो रहा है, इट्स अमेजिंग. द वेंडर्स आपको गली गली में देखेंगे. बट अगेन आई थिंक आई नीड टू मेक अ पॉइंट हियर दैट पीपल हु आर कंसिडरिंग दिस मार्केट, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ स्केलेबिलिटी, standardization should be better. You should target for a better facility so you can create better recycled products.
Yes. So okay, so that's one thing. So you talked about कि आप अपने सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स को अभी मीट कर रहे हैं, आप रेगुलेशंस को मीट करेंगे, अंदर सर्टिफिकेशन पे जाएंगे, इसका फ़ायदा क्या है?
यार सबसे बड़ा फ़ायदा तो वर्कर की ओन सेफ्टी है. जिस इन्वायरमेंट में एक एम्प्लॉय काम कर रहा है, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इट्स देयर सेफ्टी. Saad, I have seen setups in Punjab, in Lahore, where there's a recycle. Plastic is generally very. It will catch a lot of fire.
Yes.
So I have seen setups where उसने मशीन के ऊपर लाइव चूल्हा जला के उसको हीट कर रहा है. So that's so risky. आप पूरा सेटअप जल जाएगा इस तरीके से. तो जिस तरह से काम हो रहा होता है, स्टैंडर्ड्स नहीं होते. द रीज़न आई एम एम्फसाइजिंग ऑन स्टैंडर्ड्स एंड सेफ्टी इज़ फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट सेफ्टी फॉर द एम्प्लॉई. यू गिव देम अश्योरिटी विद योर SOPs कि यार आपके लिए इट्स नॉट हैज़ार्डस. सेकेंडली, द प्रोडक्ट वी आर मेकिंग इज़ फूड ग्रेड. सो वी नीड सर्टन स्टैंडर्ड्स, वी नीड cleanliness, we need hygiene, we need all other safety standards as well, because we are under process for ISO certification for food safety as well as QMS. We are under progress for GRS, which is Global Recycling Systems. And basic standards होंगे तो आपकी product not just getting certifications for the sake of it, but if you have a good facility, you can make it will be visible on your products as well, na?
Right.
If I'm using waste और मैं उसको अपने सफाई सुथराई, because dust is a major factor in our environment and it affects the quality as well. अगर मैं अपने प्रोडक्ट को किसी भी तरह से further contaminate कर दूँ तो eventually the product will not be as good, and then उसकी यूजेज जो है वो 1-2 लेवल्स नीचे चली जाएगी. सो आई एम लूजिंग वैल्यू इन ऑलरेडी प्रोड्यूस मटेरियल जिसमें इतनी एनर्जी लग चुकी है, इतना एफर्ट लग चुका है. रिसाइकलिंग का तो मेन एडवांटेज ही यही है कि आप उस एनर्जी को, उस मेहनत को ज़ाया नहीं होने दे रहे. यू आर पुटिंग इट बैक इन टू द सिस्टम. बट इफ़ यू कैन पुट द सेम प्रोडक्ट इन द बेटर वैल्यू सिस्टम, देन वाई डिग्रेड इट? So it's very important कि recycling में the value of the product needs to be understood. अगर मैं एक high value product से let's say even brick बना लूँ, it's a waste because मैं उसकी बेहतर capability use नहीं कर रहा. So the most premium product that I can make should be the first priority.
बिल्कुल ऐसे ही. Very true. तो let's get back to the masses वाला product.
Yes.
ये भी उन्होंने कहा जल्द से जल्द आ रहा है. Then again your next driveway should be these pavers. But what would this be? Because Pakistan's a very price competitive market. We don't look at premium, we don't look at time, we look at पैसा कितना बचेगा. तो is this meeting that?
So this is कहते हैं ना अभी pain point है इस product का, because when you're extruding plastics, it's taking energy.
It is.
So right now we are using regular energy source. We will be using solar energy.
So like ideal situation वाला product पूछ रहा हूँ, अभी ये वाला नहीं.
So ideal situation में when we'll be using our solar energy, then it will be more feasible in terms of price competitiveness. Abhi it's at par as what pavers pricing you can see in the market.
But it's very competitive to that.
It's competitive. I won't say it's cheap.
No, but
cheaper than that.
It still makes it a viable competitor in the market.
Yes.
Because someone who is a little even conscious about plastic recycling and health and living on the planet.
Only limitation right now is the availability and the mass production.
Yes.
So abhi inshallah in January we will be doing initial first phase production, and then we plan to increase it gradually month by month and increase substantially by end of this year. But wahi hai ke because there's no predefined way of doing it. We have to learn a lot while doing it. So there's a lot of exposure in terms of how to make it better. So that is something when you innovate, you have to come up with that cycle कि आपको गलतियों से भी और experience से आप सीख रहे होते हो. But maybe 5 years down the road, if someone plans to do it, they'll have too much data, and our experiences will help them not make those trial and error and have a refined product in the end. So this product has been worked on for 8 months now, and if you see the different stages and different compatibility, now this product is fire resistant, it is waterproof, so इनिशियली जो हमने प्रोडक्ट्स बनाई थी उसमें डिफरेंट किस्म के चैलेंजेस थे. So we plan to refine it further, and this is a continuous process.
Yeah.
In terms of innovation, I still see this product turning out to be much more in terms of its utility and its aesthetics as well. But I know that different experiences ke saath we will refine it further.
Definitely. So Habiba, you recently shared something. It said no plastic before saying no to plastic. What did that mean?
So Saad, एक common हमारी perception है plastic is bad. So just to counter that thought, कि we should know more about plastics and not just say no to plastics. Plastics actually इस दुनिया की जितनी population है ना उसको support करने के लिए preservation is very important
Yes.
in daily life. So the food we get, different processes होते हैं. So if we don't actually have plastic, we cannot really feed the world.
Yes.
So plastic की अपनी importance है, but how we use it and how we dispose it has a lot of impact. अगर हम अपना कचरा रोडों पे फेंक दें, properly bin नहीं करें, so it has more disadvantage than giving us the benefits out of it. But if we set up recycling centers in this country, give post-consumer waste to those recycling centers, then it has a more positive impact. So the whole idea was कि हमें प्लास्टिक को बदनाम करने से बेहतर है फर्स्ट उसको जानने को, उससे हमें फ़ायदा क्या है. So it's everything has a pros and cons. If we use it correctly, then we have the right way to make a positive impact towards it.
This is fantastic. I'm so happy that you're doing this. Anyone who has any questions, I mean, Habiba is very supportive. He's always available whenever I ask him questions. So before messaging him, you should do some digging. You should know what you're asking and then not waste his time, but also learn more about what he's doing if you are passionate to do this.
So I would like to share one open source regarding even for the sheeting. So you must have seen Precious Plastics.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
So उसकी website पे there's open source for machinery. You can do a lot of, even for this pot, मतलब if obviously capacity won't be that much, but they're giving open source information of how to manufacture sheeting lines and extruders and stuff like that. Someone who wants to get experience in this field can try from there. They have a lot of YouTube videos.
मैंने भी उससे एक चीज़ मशीन ऑलमोस्ट बना ली थी, बीच में फंस गया.
So मतलब इतनी सारी information है available online. You can see, we can give you the recyclable materials. You can guide you in terms if you're getting stuck in the process, and any other questions you're more than welcome to ask.
इनको LinkedIn पे तंग करें अगर कोई सवाल हो.
Yes, LinkedIn and Instagram both.
LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Is there anything else we should add?
Yeah, it's
awesome. Thank you so much for coming. This was a fantastic conversation. I wish you all the best. I'm always trying to learn more about what they're doing. I'd like you to be a little more public on it, but this is fantastic. I love the idea. I love what you're doing, and please keep it up.
Thank you so much for having me once again. And inshallah, I will be sharing a lot of more information regarding this.
Fingers crossed.
And it's a learning process for us as well. And as we encounter new challenges, new information, we'll be sharing as well. And I'll share with you as well.
Thank you so much. Startups, entrepreneurship, starting your own new business. Join me every week as we dive into stories, topics, and advices from the top founders, innovators,
The crazy ones, the misfits, the troublemakers.
every Saturday at 4 p.m. I'll see you there.